All right, we're going live. Sick. All right. Give everybody a second to maybe kind of climb on here, kind of see what's going on. We are back live on Facebook for the first time in a while, but I think this is going to be more fun the way we're going to do it now. Kind of put a little bit more into it, if you will. Um, we got this nice little background that Kirsten made. I'm very grateful for that. She always is super supportive when it comes to that stuff, so it's awesome. Um, yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just kind of maybe chit chat for a second and see if people hop in or not. But so I'm gonna start doing this to Facebook Live every week, and then I'll post the recording on YouTube. So it kind of gives it the option for some live questions, maybe some feedback, stuff like that. So what I want to talk about was kind of really my lifestyle. Honestly, I love video games. I love playing games. I would much rather play a video game opposed to watching a movie or watching TV or something like that. So as far as my virtual entertainment goes, I really enjoy video games, and I know I'm not alone in that. I know a lot of people enjoy video games. So something I want to help people with is getting to a point where they feel as if they can manage their lifestyle while also enjoying their downtime. They don't feel like they're sacrificing a large amount of their downtime. So I, for starters, I know time is probably a big thing as it is with everything. Um, I know people will, streamers specifically will spend, 8+ hours playing one game a day. And I know that's kind of a probably a bad example because it's technically their job in a sense. Is how they make money. So them being on there all day is not maybe necessarily considered excessive because they're using it to make a living. But like for me, take me for instance. I work 40 hours a week. Um, I have a baby due here in a couple weeks. Um, yeah, I go to the gym twice a week. We cook at home. I'm active in the cleaning at home, obviously. So it's like there's things that I'm always doing, and yet I still enjoy some video game time, right now every single day, but I'm aware that that'll soon change. Um, but I just think that what allows you to do that and still stay productive is creating a structure for yourself. And then also kind of cutting out the guesswork, so to speak. Like, for example, I have in this mini fridge right here behind me, I have Zevia sodas, though they're, or Zevia, however you say it, but they're sweetened with the stevia leaf. Um, and that's apparently it's better for you as far as sugar consumption. You need a lot less of it to equate to the same taste of sugar. I think it's like 1/300th or something crazy like that. I also usually have seltzer water back there. Um, but like having that, or even just having your water bottle with you, um, having stuff like that around you is gonna really help. Not having like shakes or sodas or juices, like stuff that's super high in sugar that you don't need when you're sitting down for long periods anyways. Um And like snacks too. Like I like to stick with like mixed nuts, or maybe some granola. Uh, what are some other things I like to do? I mean, I do a lot of things like applesauce cups, but I always keep them in like small portions. So I think that's another thing that you can kind of maybe run into a battle with is if you bring a whole freaking bag of chips to your desk, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna have a couple of handfuls. Yeah, right, buddy. Come on. We all know how that goes. Half of that bag for sure is getting cashed out. It's either the bag gets finished, the roof of your mouth is tore up, or your jaw is tired from chewing. Like you're not putting those salty or yummy chips down. It's just it's not gonna it's not gonna happen. So I like to plan my snacks a lot better than that. And that's where a lot of good meal prepping can come into play because a lot of the times the reason why I was kind of having troubles coming up with examples is because I don't do a lot of like snacky stuff at my computer. I usually will sit down with some leftovers, like a smaller portion of leftovers, and just munch on that. So it's usually higher in protein. It has healthier fats. It has a balanced amount of carbs in it. It's not just a massive carbon salt load or carbon sugar load with very little protein. It actually has like things that are actually going to make me feel better. And the funny part about it is when you feel better, you play better. So if you're into competitive gaming like I am, it's super advantageous to eat well before and during and out and just in general to eat well and be healthy because your mind's going to react quicker. You're going to be able to make those decisions faster and like your wrist isn't going to hurt as much or at all because you're going to be eating better foods that aren't going to be as high in inflammatory. You're going to be working out a couple times a week, strengthening that grip. You know, uh, it's it's habits like those, like keeping one of these bad mamma jammas chilling at your desk. A little grip strengthener. Every time you get owned and you're watching your teammates carry you, you just take it out on that. Uh, I I think it's super simple to do this. I think that a lot of people know what to do. It's just you're like you're like lost in the sauce, I guess, or you're already, fighting for air out in the middle of the ocean or whatever. Like you're too deep in it to see the simple steps you can take to get you out of the situation. And I think that's why, again, going back to what I said earlier, I think that's why structure is really what you want to invest in your time. I I I know I struggle quite often if I don't adhere to the structure in my life. Uh, I have to go to the gym twice a week, otherwise I won't do anything else. And naturally, if I stop going to the gym, then I stop walking around the house as much. I start sitting around as much. I don't want to do as much, get lazier. And it's just as much of a mindset as it is a physiological uh, reaction. Um, but yeah, I also do enjoy the feeling I get from taking my supplements every single day that I enjoy. So if you're seeing this on YouTube after the fact, down below in the description, I have a list of all the supplements that I like to recommend. Um, off the rip, I can just name them here for the live though. I like to take Rhodiola every day. It's good stress relief. And some people it can help lower your blood sugar a little bit. So win-win. If you're, eating sugary stuff. I enjoy sugary stuff, so it's a win. I also take vitamin D3 K2. Um, that one's really good for mood. If you're someone that deals with depression every now and then, and it doesn't necessarily seem to be like a rhyme or reason, you just kind of wake up and you just like something just feels weird and feels off. I so recommend you take vitamin D3 and K2. Those in combination, you can get away with just D3, but the K2 is a great addition. And then magnesium, no, yeah, glycinate, yeah. Glycinate, magnesium glycinate. Taking that before bed will really help sleep. I think it's like upwards of 70% people are deficient in magnesium, so that is going to fill that. And magnesium is a great stress support. And then the omega super omega 3s. Those are the three basic ones I think that you need to take every single day. I add in the rhodiola. I add in the zinc. I add in a vitamin C stick, so like an emergen-C. One of those vitamin C packs. Um, I think that's it. Sometimes I add in a mushroom like cordyceps supplement for memory, which you know not necessary, but it's fun sometimes. But but yeah, I mean, those are some good little things that you can kind of look into. Um, maybe let's get into what I like to play. Let's not make it all just let's learn. Let's have a little fun here too. So kind of my background in gaming is I grew up a console player, played a lot of sports games and war games. So like played Medal of Honor, Desert Storm games, played Modern Warfare, like a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare games growing up. Then I also played like NCAA games, Madden, 2K, even PGA Tour, MLB, all the stuff. Uh, Played that on Xbox, and I every now and then I would log into 6 on 6, PvP Call of Duty on the old sticks back in the day, and I was never good. Never good. Like I was like a .7 KD player, like I usually would die most of the time. Um Maybe I would trade, get one kill and then get tapped, but um and then let's see. I think I didn't really game for like 3 or 4 years after high school. And then my buddy who I lived with, he got me into, he built me like a Frankenstein computer, just a bunch of random pieces that he got for cheap or for free off the Facebook Marketplace in Vegas, which, by the way, if you live in Vegas, bro, hit up that marketplace. It's crazy. Um, and I got into Overwatch with him because that's what he played at the time, and I put in stupid amounts of hours in Overwatch. Never really got out of gold though, sadly. Uh, then from Overwatch, I transitioned into Apex, and same thing. I think I put in like 1,400 hours into Apex. Um, Granted, I did play that a lot when I worked overnight, so um, 2 or 3 days a week, I had like 8.5 hours to play that game. So I would. Um, and then now after that, my buddy, I game with a guy probably a few nights a week at least, whenever our schedules line up, and we were playing Apex together for a long, long time, and then he convinced me to kind of start branching out to some other games with him, and that's kind of how we became like a regular kind of like gaming thing going. And so now we've played Apex, 7 Days to Die, Project Zomboid. Um, I think there's one more game, but and then right now we're currently playing Dark and Darker, which obsessed, dude. I love this game. It's so much fun. It's so hard to win. Like if you're like you could go watch some streamers and you're gonna see them like steamrolling people, right? Because they got like hours upon hours to really own on this game. But like for a casual player who's got other things to do and can't spend more than 2 hours maybe on this game a few days a week, it's so hard to do well and to do it correctly that when you do get it, it hits. But it's so much fun. Um, it's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of deal. If you're not even familiar with the subject at all. Um, but it's so fun. It's just a lot of like hand-to-hand combat, like sword and shield, and there's also some magic people in there, and there's a bow and arrow player. So it's just kind of a bit more medieval uh game, and it's a battle royale extraction kind of game. So you go in with gear, you need to get out with the gear, and then get out with valuables, and you can also pick up gear along the way that spawns. If you die, it gets wiped. There's a stash that you have, where like if you do get out, you can put the stuff that you don't or that you do want but you don't want to use, or maybe you just don't have room to use it, over in the stash, save it for later. And then go back in with better gear, or with that gear that you got, or the gear that you have on if it's better or whatever. Go back in and just kind of rinse, wash, and repeat. And so it's a really fun one to play with friends, because like you can just be casual playing against AI, just kind of laughing and joking and just kind of chit chatting. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're in this super intense like PvP fight, and it goes from just like calm and funny to like, oh shit, we gotta get this, and you're like just trying to kind of survey the situation within seconds and kind of decide what you're gonna do. You kind of gotta like sync up with all these people, or with these two teammates that you're not even in the room with. You're on a Discord call with at best. Um, but yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. Um, I've enjoyed a lot of support healing roles though in the video game world. That's usually what I do a lot better at. I'm pretty good at positioning, and I'm decent at 1v1ing people, but I'm not very good at doing both. So I tend to be better as a support player, because I can just, position really well, and then healing is just, you just keep healing kind of thing. So it's easy. So that's why I play cleric in Dark and Darker, which is a healing character with spells. So it's pretty dang fun. But yeah, I don't really know what else to ramble about, but I'm excited to finally have like a name down for this thing, and to have it streaming to Facebook now, and so like this is really cool. I really like the process and kind of what we're going with here. Um, I really do think that this is going to be something that is going to be a real big issue in the near future. I do feel like a lot of people that play video games get stuck into the beautiful trap that's created for us of the endless entertainment that you can do. Um, but I think it's in our hands and our powers as the users to recognize that video games, just like TV, just like sports, just like the weight room, just like religion, just like drinking, just like smoking, these are all tools that can be used to gain something. Now, whereas I know certain ones, if are abused, have, certain levels of stuff, but at the end of the day, if you want to simplify it, they're all tools, and it's all comes back on you and your choices and the way that you structure your use with those things in your life. Um, so yeah. As always, though, I'm happy to be here chatting with you guys, and I'm grateful for all the views that we get on this. It's awesome. I love it. Um, I'm gonna be doing this every single Thursday, at 4:30 Central Time. And if that's a bad time for you, just make sure that you're checking the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube, and you're tuning in every Thursday evening on YouTube, because yeah, usually by Thursday evening, I believe. I don't know. I technically it's the first time I've done this on OBS, so I don't know how long it's gonna take to download the recording. But as long as it downloads quickly, I'll do my best to have it up on Thursday evening. If not, Friday mornings, the replay will be uploaded. So if you can't make it Thursday night, for sure Friday night you'd be able to watch the episode. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate all the support. Appreciate you guys coming by. We'll see you next week.